Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Welsh. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Friday Night Live. And a few things to talk about, then take a few questions real quick and not take up too much of anybody's time. Hope you're having a great Friday evening. It's a chilly Friday evening where I'm at on the night before Halloween. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about, Halloween coming up tomorrow. First thing I want to mention is thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please do so. Just hit the subscribe button, hit like and share. And also, if you'd like to support the program, you can become a member. And it's $2.99 a month for basic membership. There are 3 levels of membership. And I said $2.99 the other day, and somebody thought I was talking about $299 a month. No, $2.99 a month membership to help support this show. And it is purely voluntary. It impacts this show in no way other than if you are a member, you get a few extra perks. You get some behind the scenes videos, and you can all the way up to hosting the show with me, being a host of the show, and basically having whatever topic you want to talk about as your topic for that period, and do that once a month. So those are the levels of membership. And I get the show started here. I've talked in the past about near Earth objects and about the possibility of meteors or asteroids. There is indeed an asteroid heading towards Earth and should get here the day before Election Day. Should get here Monday, and and it's not going to impact us, according to NASA. And even if it did, it wouldn't be significant. It's not a large object at all, according to NASA. But it should pass just outside of our atmosphere. If it gets caught in our atmosphere, it should burn up, according to NASA. The second thing on the list for tonight for a live Friday is Walmart. Your friendly neighborhood Walmart. Now, I was going to talk about how Walmart had pulled all of their guns and ammo off of the shelves. Now, what I was originally told was Walmart was going to take all guns and ammo out of their stores. Then it was Walmart's going to take all the guns and ammo off the shelves, but they're going to be in a secure location in the store, and they're still going to be for sale. And this was all due to precaution because they were anticipating the possibility of unrest following the results of the election. And that to me was very troubling, that they felt so strongly that unrest was going to happen. It's one thing for me to say it and be saying it all the time on this show. It's another thing for a major corporation to actually come up with the same with the same result. Now they have decided that they're going to put guns and ammo back on the shelves instead of keeping them in a secure area of the store and continuing to sell. I'm not sure what this means, other than people were probably losing their minds in emails to Walmart saying, you can't take away our guns or whatever. And even though they were still going to be available for sale. Now, that's the part I didn't understand. If they were really anticipating arrest, which it seemed to me like they were, why would you keep the guns and ammo in the stores, even in a secure location? If shit hits the fan, people know there are going to be guns somewhere on the premises in Walmart, and they're going to work until they find them. So, next time Walmart, if you really think it's going to happen, get them the hell out of the stores and get them back into centralized warehouses or somewhere where they're not going to be. I don't know. Maybe they're easier accessible at centralized warehouses. I don't know. But anyway, Walmart's decided to put the guns and the ammo back on the shelves. So wanted to get a little bit more local to me in that the Breonna Taylor case and the Dreashawn Reed case. Dreashawn Reed is a young black man that was killed in Indianapolis, and basically Facebook live streamed all the way up till his death. And a judge has ruled that the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, IMPD, cannot be held accountable in a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit that the family is filing, saying that IMPD can only be sued for access to information, and that is obviously not what they're being sued for here. So that information, and then Breonna Taylor, 2 grand jurors have spoken out. And both of the grand jurors are saying the same thing. After hearing all the information, they were expecting homicide charges, and homicide charges were never an option. That the only thing presented to them was wanton endangerment, and that's the only thing they really had to act upon, because that was all that was put before them. Something that had been suspected, but now it seems like it's being verified. The second part of the Breonna Taylor information, new information on the Breonna Taylor case, is Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly. Mattingly is one of the officers that was at Breonna Taylor's apartment that night. He was shot in the leg by Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend was Kenneth Walker. And Walker's side of the story is that they were laying in bed watching TV. She was asleep. He was just about asleep. Somebody banged on the door, and they both yelled, "Who is it?" Suspecting it might be her ex-boyfriend. And when there was no answer, when they called, "Who is it?" He got his legally registered gun out, and she stood up behind him, to the side of him, and as they busted the door open, he thought they were intruders, again thinking possibly even her ex-boyfriend. He fired one shot down, not up, not forward, but fired a shot down, hit it Mattingly in the leg. Okay. Mattingly has filed a lawsuit against Kenneth Walker, and for, quote, experiencing severe trauma, mental anguish, and emotional distress because of Kenneth Walker's actions on March 13th. The lawsuit goes on to say Walker's conduct in shooting Mattingly is outrageous. It's intolerable, and it offends all acceptable standards of decency and morality. That's the officer that Kenneth Walker shot. And as far as legalities, according to Walker's attorney, now Walker was initially arrested and charged that night with attempted murder over the shooting of Mattingly, but those charges were dropped, and Walker has sued the Metropolitan Police Department and also sought immunity based on the state's stand your ground law. Walker's attorney called Mattingly's lawsuit a baseless attempt to further victimize and harass Kenny. Kenny Walker is protected by the law under KRS 503.085 and is immune from both criminal prosecution and civil liability, as he was acting in self-defense in his own home. His attorney, Steve Romans, said in a statement that originated with CBS News. So basically, Mattingly is one of the two officers that fired the fatal shot at Breonna Taylor, and he is suing the boyfriend who was protecting himself and protecting her, or attempting to. And now the police officer is suing him, experiencing severe trauma, mental anguish, and emotional distress, and that Walker's conduct as shooting Mattingly is outrageous, intolerable, and offends all acceptable standards of decency and morality. So my question to the 3%ers and to the other Second Amendment folks, where you stand on this? Kenneth Walker was protecting himself, the place he lived, and his woman. And according to this, it was outrageous, intolerable, and offends all acceptable standards of decency and morality. So, where do you stand on this? Is it different because it's a black person? I hope not. I hope not. The one other thing I wanted to mention was Tamira Rice. For those that don't know, Tamira Rice was killed in 2014 in a playground, and this just came up, so I'm just going to read it. The Trump administration has quietly ended a civil rights investigation into the police killing of 12-year-old Tamira Rice in 2014. The New York Times reports the Justice Department ignored pleas by career prosecutors to open a grand jury probe into Rice's killing for more than 2 years before denying the request in 2019. In 2014, Cleveland police officer Timothy Lohman shot Rice within 2 seconds of arriving at a park where Rice was playing with a toy pellet gun. When Tamira's 14-year-old sister rushed to her brother's side, they tackled her to the ground, handcuffed her, and put her in their cruiser. Tamira Rice died the next day. Neither officer was indicted or fired over the killing. So that is no longer going to be an access route for justice in that case. As far as Breonna Taylor case, we'll see what happens with the grand jury records. So one other thing I want to mention, tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be joined by some of the viewers of the program, and we're going to have a panel discussion on basically the state of things in America, on race, a little politics, and just in general, try to find things that we have in common. And it's my hope that we discover that we have much more in common than we do that which divides us. Try to show that there's, we need to overcome. We need to overcome fear. We need to overcome ignorance, and we need to have conversations. And hopefully this panel tomorrow is going to be a start. Now, I've had somebody that had to drop out at the last minute, so really, I've got a couple of openings, and especially if you're a female please consider coming on the panel. I would like to have a couple of females, and but that's not a prerequisite, and I don't have like a written in cement number. So if you'd like to be considered to be on the panel, send me an email, americandoofus@gmail.com, or you can send a message to me at americandoofus at on my Facebook page, American Doofus page. And I apologize, Doofus dog's outside. She wouldn't come in before I began the show. And she's out there barking at somebody, probably some kid, Halloweening. So I'll stay here for a few minutes, and in case anybody has any questions or comments. And where's the flag? No, the flag's not dead. Actually, I took the flag down to have it dry cleaned, and I have neglected to pick it back up from the dry cleaners, in all honesty. Full moon may have the dog barking. Crypto, you may be right. Full moon may have, because she's going to town out there, and it's annoying the heck out of me. Dude, it takes me too long to drive a point home. I'm sorry, Troy. I'm sorry, did I say Tori? It's Tori. I'm sorry, Tori. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe taking a little time allows for people to open their minds. Isn't this what workers' comp is for if you get injured on the job? As far as the police officer getting shot, I imagine the police officer was taken care of financially for getting shot. I just found it odd that I just found the whole situation odd, and I hadn't heard anybody mention it yet, so I wanted to talk about it. What are my thoughts on skinny jeans? Well, it depends who's wearing them. We need to rid the world of skinny jeans. Okay. All right. Do you stand on General Delta talking about hurting Moorish World TV wife and child? I had not heard anything about General Delta talking about that he was going to. No, I haven't talked to General Delta since we did the interview on Wednesday. I think, yes, we did the interview on Wednesday. And actually, I think he did bring up Moorish World TV, if I remember right, in the interview, but it wasn't anything. I don't think it was anything violent, or I don't even think it was derogatory or negative, because it was just a brief mention. So no, I'm not aware of anything like that. But no, I would, where do I stand on that? I would stand against that. I would, Delta, if you're watching, don't do anything to anybody, man. And the Moorish, Mr. Bay, no, don't hurt him or his kid or his wife. If he said something, he probably said it in the heat of the moment and probably didn't even mean it. I don't know. I'm not apologizing for the guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about it, but I don't want anybody getting hurt. That's where I stand on that. Whoa. Okay. I honestly, I don't know anything about any of that. Nothing at all. So if you have any comments or questions about the interview from Wednesday, about anything I've talked about up here at the moment, or if you happen to know somebody that would be great for the panel, The email is americandoofus@gmail.com. And the Facebook is American Doofus. Just leave me a message. And if I don't get anybody else to join, then that's okay, because we seriously do have a good solid lineup for the way it is right now. I just want a couple of more options, because again, you just never know what's going to happen. Any update on Philly? Right before I came on, I checked, and they haven't started marching. They hadn't started marching as far as protests in any of the areas on the East Coast that I've been watching. It's still a little early for the West Coast stuff, but they were gathering and listening to speakers, and that's all I know about that. I do know that body cam footage and the 911 call on the Walter Wallace Jr. Shooting, both of those are supposed to be released. And as I said, I checked maybe half an hour before I came on. I run through everything to make sure that there's nothing new that I should be aware of. And there hadn't been anything released on that, at least from anyone that I know. So that's where Philly's at the moment. I did see there were protests in Kansas City. There were protests in Nebraska. And I was thinking there was one other place that seemed like it was starting to take off, but nothing other than peaceful protesting. The Moorish man was very disrespectful, and I don't agree with everything Delta says. He didn't threaten his wife and children, but he did send the Moorish man pictures of them. Ooh, okay. Again, I don't want to get in the middle of any of that. That's none of those things are any of my business. Hang on, I got a message. Okay. I get the gator on and the hooded sweatshirt on because before this I was with my 3-year-old granddaughter, called trick or trunking, instead of trick or treating. In this pandemic, they bring the little kids to a park and people hand out candy out of their cars or out of a table, out of their, set a table up outside their trunk, so normally I don't wear a hat, I don't wear a gaiter, and I don't wear a hooded sweatshirt. So there's no significance. I'm not sending anybody signs or signals or anything like that. That's just happened to be out with my 3-year-old granddaughter, and it was a joy and a blessing. And I hope it stays peaceful tonight, because, I've had this conspiracy theory that Halloween night was going to be similar to Kristallnacht in the precursor to Hitler taking power in Germany. And it was Kristallnacht is the night of broken glass. It's German for the night of broken glass. But while I thought Halloween might be that night, Kristallnacht might still actually happen on its own anniversary, because if I remember right, that was November the 10th, when all of that happened in Germany, that led to Hitler basically stealing and maintaining power. And my hope is that tonight remains relatively calm, because if it gets a little violent tonight, especially if it gets a little violent everywhere, then tomorrow night, I'm going to be hunkered down. probably just me, Doofus dog, and Doofus cat hunkered down on a Halloween night and hope for the best. And I sure hope Sunday I can come on here on Sunday night's live wrap and say I was a doofus. Nothing happened on Saturday, and I was so wrong, and just be stoked about it. I'd like to hit a football parlay on Sunday as well, while I'm mentioning it. And it is legal in Indiana. And speaking of legal in Indiana, because the first thing that everybody asks is marijuana legal in Indiana? And the Indiana Democratic candidate for Attorney General came out today and said he had decided that marijuana should be legal in Indiana to help fund education and odd timing, 4 days before an election. And does he really mean it, or is he just trying to get people to vote for him that may not otherwise vote for anybody? Just, single issue voter. Okay. Marijuana should be legal everywhere. I agree with that. Totally agree with that, Mary. It should be decriminalized at the federal level, and it should be legal in every state. It's and I'm not, I don't support every single street drug being legal. I don't, but I've told, I've said it on here, or I think I said it on here. I might have said it on one of my interviews, but I've got a relative that the only way he stays alive is by breaking the law every day, and he's a diehard conservative Republican. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have Trump tattooed across his ass, but he breaks the law every single day because it's the only way he's able to eat and enjoy food and stay alive. So I've seen it work. Is it for everybody? Of course not. Nothing's for everybody. But it's one of those things where, if it's not for you, don't do it. I mean, gosh, if we just took that attitude a whole lot more on things. Speaking of which, I'll end with this. I mentioned that I was with my 3-year-old. She had a dinosaur costume on, and we were in line, and actually I was doing a live stream on Facebook. I was doing a Facebook Live, and it was just a Facebook Live for friends and family, and everything was going along real smooth. And one person even asked me, "Aren't you a famous YouTuber?" And I said, "I'm a YouTuber now. As far as famous, that that depends who you ask." And everything's going along smoothly. And then this one woman went, and I even talked to a couple of police officers. And this one woman went over to this security guard wearing a fluorescent green and flashy glasses. And she said, "I don't want him filming." And so the security guard came over and said, "Hey, you got to stop filming. People have complained." And I said, "Okay." And walked back over to where my daughter and my granddaughter were, 10 steps maybe, and had her say goodbye to the camera, and then I shut it off. And then I went back over to the guy and I said, I actually saw what happened. There were, you told me people complained, and there was one person complained. And I never, I think she was pissed because I didn't film her daughter, because I was spending a lot of time filming my granddaughter, and the kids in front of her were mugging for the camera. And, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where if somebody's filming and you don't want to be filmed, all you got to do is say, "Don't film me." And if they keep filming you, then you got a problem. The person filming's got a problem. But as far as, live streamers, and especially if it's media, if you're doing something either educational or informative, then you've got a right to be on the street. You got a right to be in any public place, filming in any public place. And so anyway, kind of a crazy end to my granddaughter's trick or treating. The flag's down because I've got it at the dry cleaner. I took it to the dry cleaner. God, it's probably been 2 weeks ago, and I just haven't picked it back up yet. No live streamers in Philly. That and it is interesting. I saw the one live streamer just got the crap beat out of him, and kicked out of him, and he was hospitalized. And I think once word circulated that had happened, a lot of live streamers in Philly shut it down because, in all honesty, I'm having trouble finding streams from Philly. Yeah. So anyway, been on here about a half an hour. That's by YouTube standards, that's more than long enough. Thank you all. Love you all. I will be back Sunday night. We'll be live Sunday night, so please come back and spread the word. That we're going to be live. We'll have get some more people in here and have some more discussions. And tomorrow I'm doing a panel that will probably air about 8:00 tomorrow night. And again, if you want to be on the panel, email me. We keep your name confidential. You don't even have to show your face. You can be like Chris, our security expert. Or you can be like one of the other panel members who's going to call in by phone. So if you want to take part, send me an email at americandoofus@gmail.com, or find me on Facebook at American Doofus and leave me a message. Or if you know somebody that you think would be good to be on a panel, I'd like to have one. I'd like to have a 3%er, an oath keeper. I'd like to have some sort of militia person, preferably not a racist. But if you are a racist and you're honest about it, we'll listen. We're not always going to agree on everything on this panel, but we will be respectful, and we will honor each other, because I've got mute buttons. So I will see you Sunday night live. Hopefully you'll catch the panel tomorrow night. Hopefully you'll have a blessed and guided weekend. And no matter if you don't believe in God, if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher being, if you believe in whatever source of positive energy and power you believe in, call upon it this weekend. It's a dark, dark world, and I'm hoping we can just keep getting by one day at a time. I love you all. I'm serious. I do. Peace be upon each and every one of you. May the blessings of the Most High rain down upon you, and may the Most High have mercy upon the United States of America. God bless you all. I love you. Keep you, and don't be a doofus.